But we are the club or the community of public transport in the world, and so I'm representing something like 15 to 30% of the traveler of the world, and so being here, which is the every year big meeting about how to transport people and how to fund transport, is of course the essence for me. I think basically, I'm speaking about public transport. It should be funded by different sources. It should be some taxes. It could be the tickets that people are paying to use the Straßenbahn or the underground. It can be also the beneficiary, because basically when you look in a city where you have a good public transport, which is taking a lot of people, there are plenty of people that are making money out of it. And the first one that I'm thing is the real estate developer, because the owner of a piece of land, of a building around a line of metro, the worth of that piece of land is much higher, and he gets it for free. So basically, one way to fund public transport and development would be to ask the people around the line of transport to contribute also. I think it's true. Unfortunately, if our country have problems, it's also because we have bailed out the bank, especially here in Europe, where we saved the bank, who had been crazy in the year before. So now we're in trouble, indeed, and it's a problem for our public transport, because many of the public transport operations are depending on public money. So that's why I'm advocating for diversifying the source of revenue, still having, for major infrastructure, U-Bahn and S-Bahn, you need the state. But then you look for operation, we should be self-supporting. And that would come because we are diversifying our revenue, raising our ticket price, but also developing advertising, developing real estate along our lines, and all that together should cover our operating cost. I think to draw the attention of the political world on the troubles that we are facing, if we want to have sustainable transport in the future, if we want city to be livable, that's one of the major issues. If we want to stop congestion in the cities, we need to develop collective transport, but also soft mode of transport like biking or walking. And the coalition of biking, walking and public transport is eventually, for me, the future of cities. Of course, we are not against the car, because the car is very useful in other areas. But in the city, it should be restricted more and more to make our life acceptable. I guess, yes. So there was some discussion about how to attract private money, which was interesting. I was also disappointed because at some point in time I had the feeling that the people, bankers, were a bit much too much here, and were defending their business, whereas they should be helping the economy to grow and not to try just to grow their own business. I think there was a very good discussion by the chief editor of The Economist, who I think made a brilliant speech. So yeah, basically I was very much interested also by the networking that I can make here, meeting people that I don't have the opportunity to meet generally. So I made a lot of good acquaintance. Yes, myself and another of my associates who were member of a panel. I was on the funding side to try to see how we can organize the funding. And one of my associates was in charge of financing climate change. And so, we have very good ties with ITF, and I personally know very well the Secretary General of ITF and the chief economist. So we're working together. Between the session, we have also work that we're doing together. And tomorrow, I think there will be a presentation of cases of cities where sustainable transport have been developed, and we have been in charge of some of the cases. So I think it's a good collaboration with ITF.